Hey everybody, how you guys doing tonight? I got the custom Tauntaun done, and I figured I'd show you guys. Hold on a second. Lighting might honestly not be the best in the room. I figured I'd just turn my lamp on and call it a day, but I guess I need to go turn on the main light. Alright, well, since I put the other light on here, let me give you guys a closer look. So yeah, here's the Tauntaun. I think it looks pretty decent. You got a close-up of the eyeball there. As you guys can see, pretty much I didn't do anything to its eyes. The eyes are still the eyes of the original alpaca that it was. And then I forgot to mention this in the last video. The arms are actually from a Mattel Velociraptor. Not a very good one. Or actually, that exact Velociraptor is over there. Turning it into the Skull Island. It's like the Skull Island quadruped raptor. I can't remember the name. It's like Articendes or something like that, or Articacendes or something like that, something similar. But yeah, so I guess as a whole, this guy is made out of an Allosaurus for the add-on piece of the tail. He got is this? I always find the problems I always find the problems when the video's ready, huh? Ain't that funny, guys? I always find the problems then, I tell you. But anyway, he's Allosaurus for the tail, Dilophosaurus for the legs and feet, a raptor for the hands here, bighorn sheep for the horns, and alpaca for the body and head. And then the rest of them is just caulk. But yeah, I think he turned out pretty good. He got I guess we'll start on his face here. So as you guys can see, there we go. There's the eye there with the gloss. You got top of his head with the ossicones, like the little bumps on his head. Which honestly, I guess you could say those could have been for ramming each other in disputes, for various reasons. I mean, along with I guess these horns and the tusks, you could say they just use all this head equipment to fight each other, considering it's not very flashy. So that makes the most sense. So then you got the other side of the head there. Pretty much just a similar look. I did the glossy Mod Podge on the end of the eye, or on the inside of the eye, along with the inside of the mouth. Some of it actually is still showing in the back. It's still a little wet, but that's okay. Then you got these horns, which are done in a similar color to the rest of the body, with a little bit of a kind of brownish wash. Kind of make it look a little bit more organic. And then from the rest of its body, like the fur, was pretty much done with a mixture of the silver and the gray. I just mixed some silver and gray together, and then on a few different sides of the body, I did a white wash and this, whatever the hell this color is. I don't even know what this mixture is here. It was like a little bit of the fur mixture with some like browns and some other crap. As you guys can see here, kind of got a little bit of a different color variation. Don't look too bad. This actually was gonna break, and I had to super glue it. There's a little line there, but it ain't too noticeable. And the bright side with this guy is that if there's any white bits showing, at least with this dude, is that he's a snow creature. So you could just kind of write it off as it just being snow stuck to him. So that's nice, because I don't even know where that came from. Like, wait, unless I'm seeing it. Oh, right there. Like, I don't even know where the hell that came from, because I could have swore that I painted this whole damn thing. But I'm telling you, I always see the mistakes when I'm doing the video on it being finished. Which is annoying, because I clear coated it and everything, and it still stinks of clear coat. So it's like, how it is, and I prefer the gloss or the Mod Podge, but the problem is with Mod Podge is that the shit turns white when you get it wet. And this thing is going to be in the snow a lot in my pictures, so it's like I can't afford to use the Mod Podge on its legs and stuff like that. So, that's sort of annoying. And then you got the bottom of the feet here. The bottom of the feet are kind of shiny, like, because I did a coat of super glue on them to help it kind of just help it slide along, you know. Which looks okay, a little textureless, but it ain't like you're paying that much attention to it anyway. Got some sort of spotted kind of coloration here. Kind of varies. You know, there's some of it here, and then of course on the other side, it's a little inconsistent, but I don't mind. You know, it's just something to make the skin not as boring to look at. You know, just some spots that are pretty much the same color as the fur. You got the I don't even know what this is. I mean, just kind of. I said, why not? You know, it'd be kind of weird to have it not have any sort of genitalia whatsoever. So I had this idea where it'd have two cloacas, one for, you know, passing, you know, for, you know, the urine and the feces and all that crap, and then another one for, I guess, mating. That makes sense, you know. Like, which, you know, I mean, it kind of just give it a little bit of a more alien vibe, you know, just. Which this thing, let's be honest here, it looks like something that came from Earth. But you could say that you could say that a lot of the Star Wars aliens were kind of derivative of existing animals. Not the most creative bunch, I'll admit, but you know, especially a blurg. I saw that thing, I'm like, oh wow, how creative! It's somebody just took a piranha and stuck it on some theropod legs and called it a day. So, wow, and what a creative name, a blurg. Sounds like somebody friggin' like somebody it sounds like somebody sneezing like you know what I'm saying? Like excuse you. It's like that's it. And that's the name of our fucking alien creature, a blurg. How dumb is that? But I mean you could say the same thing about Tauntaun. It's literally just the same word used twice. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it ain't like real life animal names are so creative anyway, like rhinoceros. It's the name literally just translates to nose horn. Although, at least with that, it ain't just some random noise somebody heard one time and said, "Yeah, there we go. That's the name of our creature." But anyways, besides that rant, a little bit of a close up. There's the nostrils there, nice and glossed up. Something I actually found out after I was done sculpting is apparently Tauntauns have two sets of nostrils for whatever the hell reason. I looked it up. It was to I guess help them take in more oxygen while running, but to be honest with you, you don't really need that setup to help you run. I mean, for God's sake, you could literally just have the system that like a lot of camels and stuff have, where their nostrils are widened and have a large nose orifice, which is actually the thing I did. So yeah, I don't need that stupid ass two nostril crap or two pair of nostrils. You know, it's dumb. So on the inside of the face, you could see he got if the camera would focus, come on, man, work with me. There we go. See, he got a bit of a scratch on that part of his face, and then he got a cut on there. And I figured that could be either due to a fight with a rival, or perhaps like a predator, a wampa, something like that. Which I suppose I could do a wampa in the future. I mean, I know I want to do a rancor. And I don't know. I mean, if you guys give me some ideas, I'll look up the creature and see what I could pull off. But yeah, that's pretty much the Tauntaun. I mean, if I had to think of some sort of biology for this version, I mean, clearly it's a tundra creature. It's covered in large amounts of fur, lives in herds. Some specimens go alone, specifically the males. Until they return in the breeding season. Males duke it out violently over mates, results in the death of males like 40% of the time. If I had to guess, 40 to 50, either way. You know, clearly they can be aggressive. I mean, I imagine the temperament of these things would be similar to camels. Or like, I mean, they are herbivores, but they'd probably still be quick-tempered, like quick to turn on somebody, you know, trying to hurt them and all that. With this specific individual, it got a wound on the inside of his, like near his armpit there, and I figure that could be like a bullet hole. Like he got shot at one point in his life by maybe an unlucky person that came across it, and, you know, it was territorial at charge. They shot it, and it still attacked them and probably killed them, and it lived to see another day. something like that. Um, I mean, probably, I don't know. I mean, I guess like a female's sex organ would be a little different looking than that. Uh, you know, maybe like with the females, it'd be like a little bit bigger on the side just to give birth. Uh, Whether or not he would lay eggs or not, I doubt it. He would probably give birth. Maybe actually, you know what could make sense? If it gave birth to live young, but they were tiny. They were really small, like marsupials. And you could say that the front arms, were a lot bigger in youth, and that they used them to crawl up into the mother's fur, to help keep warm. And then the mother could regurgitate food for them until they got to a decent size to be able to keep up with the rest of the herd. That makes a lot of sense. I could see that working out because, you know, got to think outside the box a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, originally this thing was going to look a lot more faithful to the original Tauntaun design, but honestly, I just didn't like it. I really don't like the original design. It just does not fit a creature of the tundra. And, I mean, to me, I think mine definitely does a little bit more. Oh, my bad. But, like, like this, like all the fur and stuff. Like, I know on his tail, just going over the tail real quick, he got a patch of missing fur here, which I forgot to sculpt it and just filled it in with the kind of a skin color. Which, that's okay. I mean, it's not impossible to say, hey, maybe they got some patches of fur missing, but at least even then, it's okay if they have a patch or a few missing because they still got all this to keep them warm. It's not that much of a detriment. I mean, but when you see the thing that you saw in the movie where it's like this big skinny, as my buddy quoted, I think he said, my buddy Denny, I think he said, looks like a bighorn sheep tundra kangaroo or something. It cracked me up because that's pretty much what it looked like, and I'm like, yeah, it's corny looking. I mean, at least mine. A lot of people said it's kind of creepy and ugly looking, but personally, that's what I like about it. It's a lot more feels like a lot more like an actual animal, not just a mixture of a few different things, But like the tusks, I gave it the tusks because I figured, again, if this animal fought each other, or if they fight each other a lot in combat, again, another thing with like the spurs, I mean, it's like, who knows? They'd probably be kicking, biting, ramming, pretty much whatever they could do to win the fight. You could say the same thing towards other herbivores in their area and other and predators, of course. As for, I guess whether or not these versions are domesticated, I mean, sure, why not? Be, I guess, kind of a similar situation with camels where they are domesticated heavily in some places and then aren't in others. Only difference is there's still a wild population with these guys. While camels, I think there's like a critically endangered wild population of the Bactrian camels. And yeah, hold on a second, folks. Sorry, I apologize to a lot of people watching. I'm going to have to cut this recording short. But yeah, there's Tauntaun. I give you guys another quick look around. You got his chest there. And then you got the hands, got the feet, got the shaggy fur underneath, got these little spurs on his legs, got his feet there, feet underneath, tail, cloacas, tail there, here, around the body. Got this massive shaggy mane, which I made to make it look like the wind was blowing because it's blowing that way and then blowing a little bit this way. Tufts on the ears, ossicones, nostrils, tusks, incisor teeth, mouth as a whole, eyes. Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I gotta go. Call back a family member that just called me. So yeah, there's my video on the Tauntaun. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know. I'd love to answer them. And yeah, I hope all of you have a wonderful night and day, depending on where you are. Goodbye.